calendar. Are we live right now? See, we're just discussing the call-in list because we got so many people in the chat. Hey, everyone, how's it going? You caught me off guard. But we're already, you guys are filling up the room fast. Hope, and a bunch of you are callers. Live right now? See, we're just discussing the call-in list because we got so many people in the chat. Hey, everyone, how's it going? Look at, man, I was so young. Anywho, I forgot I had that window open. Sorry about that, guys. But quick shout out to everyone in the chat. What do we got? We got Cal was here first. Eric Osemacher. I am very overwhelmed that he's here.
I have a list right here.
Oh, well then read the list.
Billy, Corey, we got Joe and Ashley.
Geek to my nerd.
Tom Z, Delisha, TJ, and that's it so far.
So far. Maybe, no, so that's it. All right. So this is the very laid back Q&A slash recent news discussion part of our channel. So thanks everyone for coming by and talking about current events. Should we open up with a few questions?
Well, the first current event I want to talk about is our very new patron, Janine.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
Janine became a patron today on patreon.com/OddshapePanel, is it?
Yes, it is. And our patrons know that I need to visit the patron more often and keep you guys updated. You guys deserve it. Just trying to do a lot right now, and I'll get there. I also got to update the website. So before you call me out on it, I'm working on it.
Yeah, she also sent me this cool shirt. So, thanks, Janine.
She's already a patron. She sends us stuff all the time.
She is.
So thank you again so much. And let me search our hashtag, which is hashtag #ToughOSP. If you don't know that and you haven't submitted a question, first off, hi, my name's Tom. This is Kimber. And we are the overlords of this channel.
Overlords. So I'm just going to, we know a lot of the stuff we'll be talking about this week. It's been an eventful one. Of course, we lost Martin Landau and George A. Romero yesterday, which is like a rough 1-2 punch for me personally. We also had the first ever female doctor on Doctor Who was announced, as well as the Game of Thrones premiere. So these are just a few of the things we're going to be talking about. If you guys have any questions, just say them in the chat, and we will read them aloud. And we're going to get some callers in here very shortly.
So we did get a bunch of callers and questions. Man, I am out of it. You haven't.
Hey, Mormo.
Mormo! I just saw he submitted a question too. And you know what? We were just talking about Romero. Mormo wasn't the only one to ask. I think Ashley also asked, and if it wasn't Ashley, it was a bunch of other people. But he wants to know what your favorite Romero movie is.
I like Day of the Dead, and it's because of Bub.
Bub is great.
Yeah, Bub is one of a kind and such a great performance and so beautifully directed, that movie, and it's my favorite one.
Okay. So this movie came out when I worked at Blockbuster, and I thought it was like a ripoff. Like, because you see, like, you know, like, I'm trying to think of what the Night of the Living Dead, or whatever it is. Return of the Living Dead was kind of a ripoff. Although I love 3. That's my favorite one. Anyway, so I watched it, and I realized it was directed by George Romero, and it's Diary of the Dead. And it's like the only found footage movie that I really like. It's done really well, and the explanation of why it's chosen to be behind that focus is really cool. It's used as kind of like an escape, so I really into it. And I don't know.
Cool death scenes in that one.
Yes,
a couple really cool ones.
The effects weren't like, that's one of the things. It's I think the effects didn't capture as well in the found footage, like, kind of thing. Whereas, I mean, you have like Day of the Dead, which the effects are amazing.
Dawn of the Dead.
The remake, really good.
Yeah, I don't think he directed the remake, but I also liked Land of the Dead. Another good one, had some really cool ideas.
All right.
Oh, Mormo said he sent us a package today.
Oh,
well, thank you, buddy, and we will look out for that.
My little puppet buddy. He didn't think I liked the Puppet Master. I literally tried to make Delisha watch the Puppet Master. You can ask her. She was worried. All right, Billy, our buddy Billy, asked us what we did for the Game of Thrones premiere. And we're not going to get too much into Game of Thrones because tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, pretty much right now, but a little earlier, we're going to be doing the Night's Watch hosted by Cal the Kingslayer. He's in the chat. He'll be on later. And we guard the realm with him on there. Trying to be poetic tonight. It's really going to be hard to restrain myself talking about Game of Thrones. So
I think we might talk about Ed Sheeran though, because
well, yeah, Ed Sheeran's like a meme, so we can talk about that. Man, all right. Oh God, I'm all the way back into the actual Game of Thrones questions. Okay, Tom Zambino wants to know, what is the best in life?
You?
I was gonna say Mavis, so I feel bad now. You too, babe. Corey asked some kind of Lannister/Targaryen time travel question, which it's not really that. I'm using innuendo. Ashley asked a cool question. I like this question a lot. She asked, we've had a female Starbuck, and now that we're going to have a female doctor, and we might as well just start talking about the female doctor whenever.
Yeah, finish the question.
Okay. What other property would work with a gender-swapped character?
Okay, the first thing I want to say is that the female doctor is not really a gender-swapped character because Time Lords, it's well established, can turn, into any gender when they regenerate. So that's the thing that I find the most ridiculous about people who are extremely angry that there's a female doctor, because the Corsair came back as a woman. We saw that episode that Neil Gaiman directed. That was part of that canon. And the Master's been a lady for a while now.
Not only that, River was pretty much like a test template for a female doctor.
Yeah. And I love River. She's great. But did you have an answer for one that you would like to see actually gender swapped?
Knight Rider. I'm serious. But I still want the car to be male. And I don't want there to, it's totally platonic. There's not a weird relationship between the car and the girl. I don't know. I just think it would be fun. And we were talking so much, and if Tom calls in, we'll definitely talk about it. Tom's podcast, Cars and Popcorn. We're talking about how there's a lot of car guy tropes. Mm-hmm. And I think it would be kind of cool to see some girl car tropes.
Yeah.
Or break some tropes at least.
See, I would think Supernatural could be fun with Lady Hunters, but I think they're doing a spin-off that's relatively similar of an idea to that. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be about family.
Yes.
Because it's supernatural. Yes, Joe. The doctor's still not ginger.
Tom Zerbino says he kind of wants that too, so he's right there with you.
Right?
Hashtag car sex. No, Eric A. No.
What are you watching, Southland Tales? If you know what that movie is, I'd love
Raul likes my gender swapped Supernatural, or he's
confirming
that there's a
rumors. And speaking of rumors, let's get into some news. Hi, Janine. We were just talking about you. All good things. Straight up the tailpipe. Did you see Southland Tales?
News.
You have the notebook. Oh. Sorry, the teleprompter was blank. And
News. Don't look at the Thor Funko Pop vinyls. There is spoilers. There be spoilers.
Yes, apparently there's a character reveal. I mean, or do if you don't care about spoilers. Just don't tell me about it. Thank you, Talisha. There's apparently a secret character who's going to show up in the movie, and Funko ruins it. They ruined Giant Man Ant-Man for me for Civil War, so I knew that was coming. That bummed me out, even though I still love that scene. The whole airport scene is the best part of that movie. Back to you, Kimber.
The Game of Thrones premiere smashes HBO records.
No surprise.
No surprise.
And we'll talk about it when? Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna be like wildlings.
Emmy nominations came out recently. There were lots of them.
Yeah, I didn't get to look at any of them.
Yes, San Junipero, which is
you're telling me.
And a fantastic episode of Black Mirror. I believe got nominated twice, and give it all the awards because I love that episode. It's so beautiful, and it really like is so different than anything else Black Mirror has done. And if you haven't watched San Junipero, please check it out. Awesome stuff. New Blade Runner trailer.
Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of it, so I didn't catch all the dialogue. I want to watch it again because I think we're getting ready to go.
Jared Leto is in it.
Yeah, I don't. But we were kind of like, there are some characters who I don't feel wouldn't work for that, or actors who wouldn't work for that. He still has that kind of. At least he doesn't look like an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I buy him being in that universe because he kind of comes off like an arrogant dude.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that casting choice, but I don't need him to be in everything. I'm just happy he doesn't look like a dummy. Like a crash test dummy, damaged.
The actor who played Kermit the Frog, who for the last 27 years, was fired, and his replacement was announced. So now Matt Vogel is to replace for
Who's he?
Kermit the Frog. I don't know. He's the Kermit the Frog. That's what I know.
What's his name? Vogel?
Vogel.
Vogel? I hope they do a Vogel Rock. HBO.
Do you want me to keep going, or?
Yeah, I mean, let's see if we can get any reactions real quick. Somebody's asking about Spencer, one of my favorite Screen Junkies. The Batman is not going to show up in Ragnarok, Raul. I hate to disappoint you. Billy, I don't got to do anything.
So aggressive.
Yeah. I think we're caught up on everything.
It is the 30th anniversary of RoboCop.
Holy crap. RoboCop is as old as I am.
They finally found lead actors for the live adaptation of Aladdin.
Yeah. Can they recast Genie, please? Like, I like Will Smith, but I like Will Smith as Will Smith, and that happens to be the same character he plays in every movie, is Will Smith. So, I swear to God, I'm not just singling out Suicide Squad actors.
Tom Z says RoboCop statue coming to Detroit.
Yeah. There's a Captain America one in New York, I think, right?
I'm not
So
sure.
that's cool. I like that, like,
I dig it.
Like, if an alien culture comes, like, back, they're just going to think, like, these fictional characters actually walk the earth. It's going to be like Captain America, RoboCop, Theodore Roosevelt. It's going to be like the ultimate... Yeah, Rocky, the ultimate Avengers. Speaking of Rocky, I didn't write it down, but there's going to be a new Rambo, and Stallone is not involved with it at all.
Interesting.
I think he said he was not even going to do a cameo. So
I guess we're just listing off all the news now, and then that gives people a chance to have ideas to talk about. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, let us know. Shia LaBeouf threatened to kill a police officer while he was on camera. So that's a thing.
You know what? I'm half wondering though if this is just his new art project. He's like, I can pay the bail. I don't know. He got views.
This guy.
What's the
Running
song?
for Your Life from Shia LaBeouf. That's so funny. Homecoming had the worst second week drop-off for Marvel.
Yeah. Like I was talking to you about this before.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's summer. There's Marvel seems to do really well like later in the season or earlier in the season. It's pretty much flat in the middle. And you have the Planet of the Apes sequel coming out this weekend. Anyone who's watching Spider-Man is probably going to go see Planet of the Apes. From what I hear, it's really good. So I feel like we're going to see Spider-Man come back up in a few weeks when there's nothing else really to compete against. But I don't expect people to see it like 2 weeks in a row. Probably like a lot of people saw it once or twice in the theaters the first week.
Yeah. Corey said he's seeing Homecoming tomorrow.
Well, there you go. Corey's going to save it.
Um, lots of comments about Shia going on. And
oh, Joe. Hey, Joe. How's it going?
the first Punisher poster for Netflix was released, and it looks really cool. What do you think?
I'm sorry, what was that?
That Punisher poster.
It looks. I mean, he looks like he's straight out of the comic book. I'm curious. Maybe I can like double conch, sure, or how do you say that? The shell, conch, cooch, cooch, conch. Okay. I have invisible conch that might summon Dub.
There's the sound effects you were asking for in the
it's
chat.
Broken. Just like all the horns. Anyway, hopefully that will get Dub's attention in the internet.
Ridiculous.
Well, he's I like his take on the Punisher.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
Shark Week starts on Sunday.
I mean, I live every week like it's Shark Week. I don't know what that means, but
they had some really funny like Game of Thrones themed shark advertisements that I enjoyed. So if you're into Shark Week, check those out. Atari box, the first Atari system in 24 years is and we looked at the pictures of.
Yeah, and I'm interested. I definitely want to see some like gameplay and what kind of titles are going to be released. But if it has a good selection, I'd consider just trying it. I mean, what else is Atari going to put out? Another system.
All right.
Janine asked a good question in the chat. She wants to know, how would we bring the Netflix characters into the movies? I have an idea on this, but I'm wondering if you have an idea.
Well, we heard a really cool suggestion for an alternate after credit scene for Homecoming, but
yes,
I don't know if we want to spoil
yeah, no
things,
spoilers.
But
do you remember who gave that? Was it,
I think it was the
Red Letter? No, it wasn't Red Letter.
No, it was the New Rockstars.
New Rockstars. Watch their I think it was the after credits breakdown if you're curious, and he has a good take on the end, and I would have loved it.
But it would have brought Fisk into the story.
Yes.
Is what would have happened.
Well, you ruined the review.
That's fine. They asked how we'd bring it in, so he had to be super big.
So I'm hoping we got Avengers and Guardians in space, right? And I'm hoping that there's also kind of something going on Earth at the same time. So we can kind of see Earth's perspective, like when we want to be like, if there's like a doom clock, and as much as I hate down countdowns, I feel like that's kind of where we're heading. If we were on Earth checking in on like, oh, when is this supposed to happen? Do we have a way to like see it all? I'm sure like the outsider looking in kind of thing. And defenders could be like, be safe for the like duration of that, or trying to get like the Ewoks get into the man, I cannot talk tonight, guys. I'm sorry. The doors that go to the Death Star, the relay thing. Somebody's gonna correct me. I wish there wasn't a lag. I'll wait.
Somebody help him, please. Bye, Raul.
Oh, goodbye, Raul. You broke the silence. Joe saying the same thing. Avengers off planet, Defenders, Punisher, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people can cover. Yeah, I agree with you. And that's a great way to bring the other TV shows, too. Ghost Rider, like, I don't need Ghost Rider in space. That doesn't make sense. But Ghost Rider, like, showing up and fighting side by side with Daredevil, I love that. That seems cool. Coulson's got some cool tech. I want to see Lola actually do something.
In more Netflix Marvel news, Typhoid Mary is going to be appearing in season 2 of Jessica Jones. Yes,
and I like that they're picking some like out of the box characters for the Netflix series. Not so much we were saying before, like Luke Cage kind of suffered the like second end of the series. I think with its casting choices. But I mean, as a whole, it's a good series. But Jessica Jones like nailed Purple Man. It could have came off really bad. Well, not by choice. You missed Kilgrave. But yeah, that just inspired so many cool lighting effects they could have done in the show. It set the tone perfectly. I'm really excited to see what they do.
Also with Netflix, Stranger Things Season 2 was recently had a release date announced, and that is October 27th, and the day after my birthday. So thanks for the birthday present, Netflix. Pretty excited about that. Elvira merch is coming, and Pumpkinhead is what you wrote?
Yeah, Dynamite Comics just got licensing rights to Elvira and Pumpkinhead, and so they're going to be doing comics. I heard they're going to be doing a bunch of different things as far as like just different merch, T-shirts, bunch, because I guess the licensing before wasn't allowing it. Because I haven't seen an Elvira T-shirt in a while. How about you?
Elvira?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Elvira, and I follow a bunch of like pages on Facebook and stuff, so I see Elvira stuff all the time.
Well, that's not licensed content. Reported.
Yeah.
Internet cop. Tom Bennis. Burt Macklin.
The Black Order is.
Yes. Okay. So Disney. DX. D20. What is it called?
I think D23.
D30. D23.
Something like that.
D26 flavors of Dr. Pepper. They revealed some villains who are apparently Thanos has a bunch of other kids, which he does in the comics, so it makes sense. And I really like this because it kind of spreads out all the characters in the movie. We don't need everyone attacking Thanos at once. That would be kind of tired. So I'm interested. And I have the names. We got Proxima Midnight, who's kind of like the same build as like Angel Dust from Deadpool, and I really like that kind of representation in comics. I think it's really D23. D20. I'm a gamer, so you know me, nerd. We also have Black Dwarf, who's kind of like a Hulk fighter dude. Ebony Maw, who's like the Tarkin of the kids. He's like a manipulator. I feel like I forgot somebody, but there's also Corvus Glaive, who's really cool because as long as his weapon doesn't like break, he's immortal. So it's kind of like a weird Shadow Thor. I'm thinking. I don't know. It's interesting. It's all speculation at this point, but I'm excited about the way they revealed it. Is cool too. They had these statues and there's tarps over it, and they pulled them off. And I mean, we're huge fans of those. We don't have any because they're expensive. Those busts.
Mm-hmm.
They're like huge life-size busts, and the detail was crazy. So if you get a chance, check out those pictures. It's really interesting.
Disney also just released like a big scale model of all the Star Wars stuff they're going to be building in the parks recently at D23. And I didn't read too much into it, but something about like an interactive Star Wars hotel where the guests staying there are going to get their own storylines, it said. So
yeah, which is very Westworld, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that going wrong. Like Westworld meets Five Nights.
Let's see what else we got.
Joe, I totally agree with you. Thanks, TJ. It's actually a free mug because we got some from Janine for a giveaway. They misprinted the logo. So I just got a free mug. It was nice.
They're odd-shaped panel mugs. But,
yeah.
You wrote It Director.
It Director.
Robotech?
He's doing the Robotech movie. I didn't know they were doing one. How I felt about it. I'll tell you how I feel about Robotech.
He doesn't like it.
There's elements of it I can appreciate it, but I'm not going to go into too much detail because to listen to Corey and Max Tech Podcast. I'm not going to lie, though. I'm not the only reason to go and listen to that. Digital and Dice were on there. Kim Hanley was on there. It was a really fun conversation. So when that comes out, check it out. And I think Kimber has an episode up on there, too. So check out their SoundCloud. I'm sure Mac and or Corey will plug it when they come on.
Goosebumps 25th anniversary coming out.
Yes, and they're doing a comic book run, too. So that's kind of cool, like a Goosebumps for a new generation. The movie was all right. It wasn't great, but it was all right. That was fun.
Oh, I liked it. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
I like Jack Black.
It was no Jumanji. It felt Jumanji. You know what I mean? But it wasn't Jumanji.
Yeah, Jack Black's in that one too. It doesn't look as good.
Then yeah, I'm not even talking about the new one. I'm talking about the old one.
We watched the Tick trailer. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I was not super excited about it when I watched it.
I liked Arthur. Like, Arthur looks legit. I wish he was a little bit chubbier, but at the same time, like, whatever. But the costume looked really good. It's weird that his face, because I know in the comics he has the thing, like the face covering, but I'm used to the Patrick Warburton. What's his name?
Yeah,
Patrick Warburton. Like open face Warburton. I can't talk. You know this. It's canon. So I just got to adjust to that. But I remember the series. He looked more like the Crimson Chin in the series, though. So
Billy's saying he saw the Tick pilot, and it's more about Arthur than the Tick.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's kind of like the sidekick's journey. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still probably
I'll check out the pilot. I didn't know it was
gotta give it a try.
I always give the pilot in the first episode or second episode a try.
The new Batman director threw away Ben Affleck's script.
Yeah, Ben Affleck and some other guy. Excuse me. Ben Affleck and some other guy wrote, the script for Batman. And when the new director came on, he was like, nope. And he either got somebody else to write it or wrote it himself. I don't know the details. But he threw away the Batman script, and the Batman is still very much involved with that movie, so things have got to be a little tense over there. I really want the Batman to be good. I want it to be a great detective story. So if that's what it takes to get a good detective story, sorry, Ben. I just need it. I need it, and I need... Who is the Riddler?
In what?
Batman, the Riddler. Who should be him?
Who should be the Riddler?
Who should be the Riddler, babe?
NPH.
Thank you.
You know I feel strongly about
that's
that.
what I didn't think I'd have to ask you 3 times. So that's everybody.
That's the news.
That's everybody. Goodbye. Good night, guys.
I definitely would like to get some people definitely letting us know how their thoughts on George A. Romero's and Martin Lando's legacy tonight too. So if you guys have strong feelings about any of this subject matter, let us know, and that's what we can talk about when we're on the call with you.
Okay, before we get some more callers, I'm going to grab some more questions off of Twitter because we have a lot of them, and they're pretty good. Nolan Dean, who him and Kimber are plotting something behind our backs. He asked us, we all seem excited about Jodie Whittaker as the new Doctor. What kind of doctor do you hope she is? And the moment I read this question, I thought of the Christmas Invasion, where David Tennant is asking himself, the 10th Doctor is asking himself that very same question, what kind of doctor am I? And he's like, I'm a doctor who fights. So I'm hoping she's a badass. And I don't know, like I don't want her to completely mimic 10 at all, but I would definitely like to see a little bit more of 10, like behind the eyes or whatever. I don't know. It'd be cool if she could figure out some cool amalgam of a lot of them. As long as she's not wearing celery, I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't want like a silly Matt Smithy type.
Yeah, and Matt Smith was great.
He's my favorite.
But I don't want... See, that's something where you're kind of like, you're not going to be able to get that again for a while.
Yeah, like what he did was really special because it was refreshing. But she needs to be tough, man. Like, this is getting very mixed responses from people, and if she comes out and she's soft, people are going to step all over her. Like, she needs to be a ballsy, tough doctor, and I really hope that that's what they choose to do with her. What are people saying in the chat?
Billy wants her to get some tenacity. It's a pun.
Yes,
tenacity.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Joe Sanders says Whittaker has to be really cool under fire. Yep, like you were saying. Janine was saying she recently watched Ed Wood for the first time, and he was very good as far as your Landau.
Martin Landau, his performance as Bela Lugosi and Ed Wood is one of my favorite performances of all time.
Oh my God. Joe mentioned Landau in Rounders. I completely forgot he was in Rounders. I haven't watched that movie in like 10 years.
He's in a lot
Is it older than 10 years old? I feel like it has to be. That's young. That's young Matt Damon, right? Is that Matt Damon? All right. Next question. Oh, sorry, I just found the Joe kidnapping videos. Corey would like to know, and I'm curious. I don't know if you've seen this. Who would you cast in a remake of Run Lola Run?
I do not know.
Like the only person I feel like fits it, and it's only because she has like the same haircut, is Lilu from Fifth Element. Not even the actress. I would cast Lilu because she doesn't. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I saw Run Lola Run when I was in high school, German class.
Oh, that would make sense. Delisha wants to know what your favorite type of cookie is.
Delicious ones.
And also what our favorite food to eat on a Monday is.
All food.
We got some Subway today. That was pretty scrumptious. All right, one last one for right now. I almost want to just read Tom Zambito's "What Is Best in Life" again. Oh, I just did. Joe asks, with this being, oh, this isn't Game of Thrones last season. We got one more left after this, buddy. I see where you're going with this. American Gods just got a renewal. What fantasy book series do you think should be adapted next? I haven't seen the trailer, but I did see a screenshot of Oprah in The Wrinkle of Time, and it is weird looking. Like it looks like has like an Overwatch palette, and if you play the video game, like those blues and those golds, like it looks. That's I've only seen one image of it, but it looks like a cartoon. But she looks like a person in a cartoon, not like a Scanner Darkly. So I'm interested. I want to watch it. But another fantasy book series. I don't know if anyone else read these books, but there's like this book called The Diadem Chronicles, or the Diadem something, or just Diadem. Diadem is like another word for like a crown, a jeweled crown. Bless you. And I don't know. It just followed these kids, and like one of them could like change. Hi, Randall. Could change the like. He could like counterfeit money if he wanted to, or he could change water into Dr. Pepper if he wanted to. Like he was like a alchemist type. And another one was really good at riddles, and another one was just I forgot what her power was, but it was cool. They're dynamic and stuff, and to see how it was almost like what they learned from like the fantasy realm was trying to be corrupted by their reality. Like, because they came from a city and then ended up in this thing, and then like the city came back. It's like Gaston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's really cool if you those books. I mean, they're definitely like preteen books. That's when I read them. So I don't think they'd be great now, but that's my answer. Do you have one?
Not really. Like the fantasy book series.
All the ones you care about.
Yeah, the ones that I like a lot already have adaptations.
I mean, if we're talking Game of Thrones, I would love to see a Dunk and Egg series eventually.
That's what I.
But I would rather George R. R. Martin finish Game of Thrones before he finishes Dunk and Egg. So
yeah, all the spin-offs that I would have liked to potentially have, he's already said they're not doing, so that's a little disappointing. But I mean, I would have liked to see like Targaryen era, like peak of their reign and in full like dragon riding glory and stuff. But I think that would cost
really
a fortune. Yeah. But that would be like my dream choice.
That or it would look horrible.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't be able to meet the demand.
And also, I saw somebody asking for no Game of Thrones spoilers. We are not going to be talking Game of Thrones spoilers. That will be tomorrow during Night's Watch. Viewers who call in, try to not spoil Game of Thrones for the people who haven't seen it yet. Are brave going on the internet, because my whole feed is Game of Thrones spoilers.
Okay, so Cal and Eric Osamacher ready to get called in? Red Rover, Red Rover. Planned Memento remake.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that old of a movie. Why, man?
Why can't we just think of a new idea? Like, I'm sure there's plenty of people who have written original scripts, but these remakes are being hashed out instead, and it's just so.
They said, yeah.
It's just
it's
aggravating.
Too soon. Like, why, man?
Do we really need 5 of the exact same Transformer movies? No, but it's going to do well in China, so let's make money. I'm saying everything else the internet's saying. It's nothing new.
Okay, I see you, Delisha. We'll give you a call when you come up on the list.
Here's my number. So call Alicia.
I agree with that. Let's take movies that aren't great and do something good with them, not just like Memento is a good movie as it is. They don't need to remake a movie that's both fairly recent and already good, you know?
And while Memento is like has more rewatch value for me, that's kind of like the same thing with like Old Boy. Like I'm not a huge fan of Old Boy, but like I appreciate it for what it was on the one viewing. And I really like the ants coming out of the hands of it. But I don't understand why they had to remake it. Like, and with Josh Brolin, it's just so weird. Just pick something else.
Hey, Cal.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I really like the Korean version of Old Boy or whatever version it was. I like that one. It's the Japanese or, you know, the original.
Yeah, no, it's not my favorite.
I'm also here.
Hi, Eric.
Come on, Eric.
Hello.
Eric, first, I must apologize. You have to understand, I work overnights.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for your Young Justice show. But I always end up passing out, like, right when you're about to film. And I wake up and I'm like, no!
Yeah. It happens. It happens. But that's like I was so lucky to have Ash and Joe my first episode because they're pros at this.
Nice.
So it was easy to just spitball out, just bounce off of them. This week, yesterday, nobody called in, so I was kind of just talking by myself, and I managed to do that pretty well because I can just talk.
Hey, yeah, it's like trial by fire, right? You gotta trial by combat. So you know I've been there.
There's nobody to combat, so.
Was there anything either of you were focused on these current events, or do you have some new news for us? Some breaking news?
Let's start with Cal.
All right.
I mean, I don't have anything to say besides Game of Thrones, but I could say the party was a success. We missed you guys yesterday. We mentioned you, so if I can get the video up, I can hopefully send it to Tom, and you guys can put it up. But everyone missed you there, and we took a group picture and all that.
Cool, yeah, Vicky wrote me. I saw she got a little prize. And
yeah, she won third place.
Nice.
She wants me to run the trivia, like at least the second half of the trivia. It's like 5 questions by you guys to see if it's too hard. I didn't think it was too hard, but well, before we go on air tomorrow, I can run it by you guys and tell me what you guys think.
Just send me the questions. If I can answer them all, it's not too hard.
I'll make sure she doesn't cheat.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't.
I know.
Did you have any of this news you wanted to talk about, Cal? Or?
Like news? No, I don't think anything really happened. Not that, I mean, you guys have mentioned pretty much everything. I was gonna say the Star Wars Disney thing, but you mentioned that too, so that was about it. All I know about the news.
How about you, Eric? Any comments or thoughts on any of it?
I mean, I got no like real thoughts or comments. Like most people, it's like there's a lot of sequels coming out of Disney and remakes, and but I guess kind of following up to the last time I called in, that Pokemon Go event, it's like being held in Chicago, but all around the world we get to participate 3 different times for 30 minutes, and we just got to catch Pokemon. That's it, for 30 minutes 3 times on Saturday. So do that because it'll help.
Yeah. We looked into that event too. We're definitely going to be doing that. I work on Saturdays, unfortunately, so I'll have to see like.
What do you get for it?
What's going on. I can't stop like tattooing somebody for Pokemon. I don't think that would go over too well.
Right.
But we're going to try our best and participate in that. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. So from my understanding, the way the event's working for stage 1, everybody in the actual park in Chicago will have to catch a whole bunch of different Pokemon, and based on the types, it'll be the bonuses that you get. Like I think if it's like electric type, you get like more like better egg distances. And then essentially what our job is, we need to just catch any Pokemon, and based on the tier of medal that we get out of that, if we hit bronze, it'll be for 24-hour duration, for silver 48-hour duration, and then if we hit gold, then stage 2 happens for the Chicago event. and that's more. At least stage 3 is more than likely going to be a legendary raid, or at least multiple legendary raids, and that needs to happen. just so that it can happen. So it's like, hey, yeah, it's in the game. Now let's move on.
Yeah, I have had problems with the raids. They won't let me in, so it sucks for me, but hopefully they'll fix it.
They did an update and I got in much easier, so I'm curious if we
We'll go try again, yeah.
Do you think they're going to be the birds? Because I have a feeling they're going to be the dogs.
At this point, it's what I'm going to assume is that they'll probably do the birds at this event, and then they'll announce an event in New York City, and that's when we'll get the Mewtwo, because that's what it is in the reveal trailer. There's a Mewtwo fight in Times Square, and that has to happen at some point, or else they just lied to us.
Yeah, I hate going to the city, but if they were doing something like that, I might be tempted to drive out to the city and go to that. All right, guys. Do you have any shows coming up that you want to plug, Eric?
Well, obviously, now my weekly show, Just Whelmed, is a Young Justice watch-along show that I do, and sometimes people are there. Sometimes they're asleep.
What episodes are in your next one?
This next week is episode 7, which is the Dr. Fate episode, up until episode 10. And I don't remember what episode this is. I just know that the next episode is the Dr. Fate episode. And that's the one that actually got me hooked on the show. So I'm really excited to talk about that one.
It's a good episode. I'll set an alarm.
Okay. Eric, when is your show?
It's Sundays, noon EST, depending on whether or not Tom Zambino has a Cars and Popcorn then. And then once fan friction comes back, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because right now I'm just hoping, like, yeah, I'll go here because people already have this time free for fan friction, and then like, yeah, everybody's so excited, and then retweeting right before, and then yeah, nobody shows up. But
take that morning cartoon slot and open for fan friction. That's what you got to do.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that is one of my options. My essentially my two options are, I'm either going to go before fan friction or after fan friction. And that's like, because I don't know how long I'm going to talk. It's like, so far it's been 2 episodes, and both have been under an hour. But like, I haven't been like swapping in colors or anything, so that'll probably eat up some time. So I don't know exactly how long it's going to be once it's like fully realized. But right now I'm just whelmed, so I'm doing fine.
Definitely keep us in the loop with that. Cal, tell them what's going on tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night we'll have the 2nd episode of The Night's Watch, which is discussing the season premiere of Game of Thrones Season 7, Dragonstone, and I'll actually elaborate on the prize again, and I'll tell you how to win it, because I know I was so excited to announce the gifts that I didn't announce how to win it. And we'll go on for one more week, and then we'll announce the winner the week after. And then also the next week on Monday we'll have the Aftermath episode as well for what's called Battlegrounds. So yeah, but Night's Watch tomorrow, guys, 9 p.m. Eastern on OSPeeps channel. So
that'll be for the season, the episode 2 recap. We'll announce the.
Yes, on the episode 2 recap we'll announce the winner. Because since I didn't like really say it during the show, I feel like it's not fair. So during the episode, I'll announce it again tomorrow, and then for episode 2 recap on that right before I go away on vacation, I will announce. We can announce the winner.
Cool. And then when we do the drawing for that, we'll announce the details for our channel giveaway, which we're trying to pace our giveaway so they don't conflict with each other.
Because we actually hit 100 subscribers.
Not only that,
and
you almost got into your Cruella costume.
We hit 101. But so we got our URL.
You have 101 now. I think you have 101 right now. When I last.
Yeah, you guys do have 101 in front on my view. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got our URL. So now it's youtube.com/oddshapedchannel. Yay!
Yay!
Kermit. So I have one request of you, Eric. When you wrap up Young Justice, because unfortunately there's not enough of it. We should go over some Teen Titans Go, because I actually really like that show. Yes. So good. It's gonna be called Teen Titans Don't.
Teen Titans Don't. I will cover specific episodes of Teen Titans Go, maybe. Not all of them. I would much sooner do any other show than Teen Titans Go. I mean,
We'll talk.
well, yeah, we'll talk. I mean, mostly, Just Whelmed is essentially just this nice lead-in, build this up, and then eventually, when season 3 does drop, which it is dropping at some point, I'll probably cover that actual as it comes out. So.
All right, cool. Well, we are going to say goodbye to you guys for now and let Billy and Corey get in here. But thank you so much for calling
See you guys
in.
tomorrow.
Yeah, see you guys.
Bye.
Have a good night, guys. All right, Billy and Corey, I just sent you invites. Do the Teen Titans, use the title I sent you, Eric. Oh God, Tom's really excited about something involving Teen Titans. Let's see. Also, after gives you more options for West Coast. That's a good point, Tom. Let's see.
Tom.
Connection issues. Yeah, Tom said
Okay.
that.
Because I thought actually you were talking before.
All right. Corey's talking about the HBO Watchmen show. I'm interested, but Randall just wants a good Airbender movie. Some people think that's a good enough Airbender movie. I'm not going to name names.
No one thinks so.
Hello.
Nobody does. Hey, Corey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
How's the day treating you?
Pretty
Tell
good.
Tell me about your day.
Huh?
Tell me about
What
your
do you-
day.
I just got my my Discord thing for the alien body parts set up today. So.
Oh, I'll send you my Discord information later. Also, I forgot to send you that Ryan Gosling band, Dead Man's Bones.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I do. I want to know. I'm a collector of music.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Billy's going full Weekend at Bernie's over there.
I'm not.
I know, dude.
Trust me, I'm really tired and like it's bad. So
Just got something in his eyes.
No, that's
So
that's
did
me.
you-
I got Benadryl. I'm gonna have to take Benadryl after this, but
it really
didn't know-
sucks right now. So yeah, that's why I have my sunglasses on right now.
I can see myself.
Do either of you guys have any feelings on some of this news we were talking about today?
Absolutely.
Sure, what's happening?
First, the passings of appropriately. I'm wearing glasses for this. For George Romero and Martin Landau, I 100% agree with you that Martin Landau and Ed Wood is one of the best performances I've ever seen. Halfway through the movie, I forgot that was Martin Landau, and I sincerely believed that was Bela Lugosi. And yeah, Ed Wood is just one of the best movies ever. One of Tim Burton's best, at the very least.
For sure.
See, I'm considerably older than Billy, so like to me, Martin Landau is the guy from Space 1999.
Yeah, I mean, like he had an amazing career. He's been in a lot of things,
Oh yeah.
and I mean, his daughter Juliet is also an actress. I mean, she's Drew from Buffy.
Oh
So-
my God.
So yeah. No, I was really sad to hear about Martin Landau and George Romero. I mean, my God, that man changed not only the horror genre but cinema in general. Because you gotta understand, when Night of the Living Dead was made, having a black man in a lead role like that was unheard of. Like, nobody dared to do that. And it was like independently made. It was all like on a shoestring budget, and he actually had an opportunity to get it made by a major studio, but they wanted to change the ending and they wanted to add a romantic subplot, but he said no because it would have ruined the movie. And that's why I always respected George Romero. Like, he always just stuck to his guns. He just did whatever. Very ambitious, like, with Diary of the Dead, going found footage zombie movie. And I think the Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and actually the remake, which is directed by, it was Zack Snyder's first movie. I think that's not so bad. And yeah, and Day of the Dead, I think that's a great. Just those three are like the cream of the crop when it comes to zombie films.
Yeah, to me, like, Romero is the standard. He sets a standard for zombie movies. He's kind of the person who really established, like, what modern zombie movies are, and it's upsetting to me a lot. Like, I almost got a tattoo of George Romero because I'm a huge fan of his work. Really, like, I'm not interested in zombie movies unless he was behind the camera making them, because he did it better than anybody else ever has and probably ever will, you know? And zombies is such a huge thing, and that's greatly in part to what this man did. Like, he inspired so many people. Like Joe saying, he affected the role-playing game genre because all flesh must be eaten, which is an RPG, wouldn't exist without him. Like, he inspired Edgar Wright, who wrote a beautiful, heartfelt letter about his death. He's massively influential, and he was just seems like a wonderfully, like, chill, humble, and nice dude. And it's sad because he was kind of young too. He was not super old. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Romero for me, he created one of the few moments in movie history that actually, like, legit upset me. Didn't make me cry because it was beautiful or anything. It just really left me going, okay, oh. And that was the very end of the original Night of the Living Dead.
That was like a super dark ending. Like,
that was a kick in the gut, man.
I mean, what? How appropriate, but how also terrible at the same time. Mm-hmm. And to tie it to Edgar Wright, Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg actually cameo in Land of the Dead, and they play zombies. Mm-hmm. So I always thought that was really cool because.
Wait, did you know that cool. Simon Pegg is wearing, like, that one of the molded off the original face prosthetics of Bub?
That's right.
That's the coolest, the whole thing.
Yeah. What was Romero's favorite zombie movie?
Yeah, it's Shaun of the Dead.
It shows how humble the guy is, because I think he influenced so much more beside, like, the thing about Romero's movies that I like is that they're like test groups. Like, what would you do if you were actually outfitted in a military post? What would you do if you were in a mall and you had these characters? And it reminds me a lot of, like, the thing it reminds me the most of is Fallout. Like, the lore in Fallout is Vault-Tec did all these different like experimental settings. Like, so one thing would be like, oh, it's set in like the 1950s, and one of them is like, oh, they're all clones of this one dude. I can't remember his name, but they yell it. I'm sure Joe will remind me. I think it like inspired a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Know. At least I could be completely off base with that.
But. Corey, how about you? Did any of the other news interest you?
Huh?
Sorry, I was reading something in the chat. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I kind of got, like, mixed up in the whole doctor being female thing, and I don't really care that much. It sounds like I've got a strong opinion. Frankly, I don't care, but I just, every time there's a new doctor, I go, oh, I don't really like him. That's how I always start with the doctors, and I just have not gotten there with Capaldi. He's not awesome to me. But when I saw the new doctor, and I forget her name, I haven't committed it to memory yet.
Whitaker.
Whitaker. Okay, but I just took one look at her. I'm like, oh yeah, she's the doctor.
Thank you. Listen, yeah. I have no problem with people feeling like they're not into it by seeing her, as long as it's not because she has a vagina. Like, just be open-minded. It's so ridiculous. Like, you guys, like, a lot of these guys are very upset, and it's mostly male from what I've seen personally on the internet. They're very upset about this fictional alien who flies around in a police box, whose species is known to transform into whatever, being a female. And it's bizarre to me. Like, I just don't understand that.
One of my female relatives is not happy.
Weird, man. Just like judge her performance. Let her do an episode at least, you know?
But that's all it took. It was like one picture. She's got that glint in her eye that the doctor has to have. She's very much there as the doctor. And I was like, okay. I'm cool with it. because I don't like the switching of characters over, but the Doctor, like, I didn't like when they changed Thor to be a female and all that stuff, but not enough to get, blow up the world over it or anything, But when I saw the Doctor, I'm like, this is where they can do it. This is
it makes more sense here.
This is a perfectly legitimate explanation for why this would happen, artistically.
Absolutely.
My only
tricky thing
again.
Sorry.
My only stance against like passing the mantling on and like gender changing is like if it doesn't serve to benefit the story and you're only doing it to sell what you're selling, then that makes me mad because it seems like you're just trying to give into the gimmick. But if your thing like tells a new innovative story, which Jane Foster's Thor continues to run, like it served a great storytelling purpose. I think it's fine, and that's what I'm excited to see things from a new perspective from the Doctor, because it's kind of like the same reason why I wanted the Knight Rider. It's like I want to break some tropes, and I think this is the best way to do it.
I want to comment on what Joe Sanders is saying in the chat. He says a Thor didn't become a girl became Thor, which I also fully agree. It's a completely separate character.
Loki did become a woman.
Yeah, that did happen.
Jane Foster was.
Also, Joe says that I think Joss Whedon put it best on Twitter. He understands why people are upset about Jodie Whittaker, since basically every episode of Doctor Who revolves him using his big old dick. And I understand
his big
that.
old dick is his TARDIS, though. He still has it.
You don't have to fucking be a male to swing your dick. I can tell you that right now. Like, you can be a powerful, ballsy chick, and look at Cersei. Like, you can inspire every emotion that a man can if you are a tough broad. Like, I'll tell you right now, like, do you think that, like, if I couldn't swing my dick that I would be the champion of fan fiction?
I've seen it. It's you.
You know, like, you don't,
but
you don't need to be male to be tough and have bravado.
Being turned into Missy was the best thing that ever happened to the Master.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, there was no problem when the Master turns into a woman, but if the Doctor turns into a woman, oh, it's a big fucking deal. Like, where do you...
I don't know about that.
I mean, like, there was really no problems with, like, when we found out Missy was the Master, and I very much agree. That was awesome. I thought it was very progressive, and I'm like, yeah, it's about damn time. It's been almost 60 years, guys. Come on. We had to make the Doctor a female at some point. I mean, we could. And apparently this actress is very good on Broadchurch. I have not seen Broadchurch, so I can't judge. But I'm going to judge her on her performance. And you know what? I'm 100% on board. I'm very excited. And, yeah, I can't wait to see what she does, how she makes her mark on the character of the Doctor.
I can't say I'm 100% on board, but then again, I wasn't 100% on board when Capaldi came on. It has nothing to do with her being female.
I see that.
Like, that's fair enough, you know?
And there's always a bit of trepidation with a new Doctor.
What I really liked about the Missy thing was that, like, the Master and the Doctor were like an old married couple for so long that it only seemed right for, like, the Master to kind of take on the gender role and them to kind of do that little flirt back and forth. It didn't really go anywhere, but I feel like through all of that, the Doctor only gained respect for Master / Missy. We got to catch up on the last season, so I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I just liked that she was a good actress and she did a good job, and that's all I'm hoping that people will do is, like, take a time just for a second and let her do an episode and watch it and give an opinion based on how well she does, not just that she's a woman, you know?
Well, that's the only 5 minutes that you always get. You know, at the beginning, at the end of the Christmas special, she'll get her 5 minutes, just like Capaldi did, and just like Matt Smith did, and you'll have that. Well, not even 5 minutes, like usually a minute or 2 minutes, where they had their little intro, and that's when we'll be able to judge her for the first time.
For sure.
Joe makes a good point. Just to close up this conversation. He's betting that the character will still prefer female companions. But he also thinks she might want male companions. I think one of the best companions was Rory. But I also don't know if his motivations and stuff still would have stood if Amy wasn't there. So.
Yeah, well, Joe is saying that, like, he likes female companions because he likes to be worshipped by them, basically, for them to dote on him. So maybe she'll switch to male for the same reason.
I skipped a line.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I just want a really hot guy just to become a companion. Just like, you know, because typically the female companions are pretty. Typically they are, and that is also they fall into this true trope where they fall in love with the Doctor, and it makes them really boring characters. That was the problem I had with Rose and Martha. Why did you say that name?
Don't compare Rose to Martha. You're completely.
Oh no! I will do what I want, Tom.
You're just lashing out.
I did not like Rose. The more I think about it, I don't like Rose at all. She sucks.
She likes you. She saved Kim's butt in fan fiction, so.
It's true, I love Rose.
I'm not saying she isn't useful. I'm just saying her characters, and I'm not saying Billie Piper isn't a good actress. I'm just saying she's a terribly written character. And
I agree, Joe.
I like your mom a bit more, actually.
yeah, I liked Rose's mom a lot.
Oh my god.
How is that possible?
You also don't like Dougie.
No.
I'm talking to Corey specifically, not Billy.
I don't like. Okay. Oh, whoa.
Okay, no, we don't. We
Not
can't get
tonight,
into it.
not tonight with the Dougie. We'll save that for Peeps.
I'm
Uh,
coming for you.
I see in the chat that Donna is the best. You're goddamn right that Donna is the best. I love the Doctor together.
Bring back Danny Pink.
I wanted Danny Pink to be the new
I wanted
companion,
Danny Pink to stay longer.
for sure. We do got to wrap it up and switch callers here, guys. So I'm going to give you a second if you have anything to plug or if you just want to shout out your Twitter and stuff. So, Billy, go ahead.
Okay, you can find me at BBusterBill, all capitalized B. I'm a frequent guest of podcasts. I was on Corey's podcast, tech podcast as well. It was 11 o'clock at night, and I had to get up at 5 in the morning, but it was worth it. And yeah, you can always find me here on all the OSP shows. And I will definitely be calling in tomorrow for the Night's Watch. And I cannot wait. And just talk to me on Twitter. And I love meeting new people. Looks just like you.
Corey, what about you? What do you got going on? What's in the?
Well, I run the tech podcast. Most of these people have been on it now. And you can contact me at Geometroid on Twitter, and you can contact the show at Tech Podcast 1 on Twitter. And Tom was just on the show, but considering the snail's pace we are moving at, it'll probably be a month before that episode hits air. But we're trying to do something about that.
It's never going to air. It's going to be, I don't want to say the word, lost.
And also, we have a new Discord server.
Lost confirmed.
No.
It's gonna happen one day. Whether
Lost
you
episode.
like it or not.
All right. With that, I'm going to deny you the lost episode, but be sure to check out Alien Body Parts / Tech Podcast on SoundCloud. That's where you're going to find all the stuff. And Kimber has an episode up there recently. So, yeah, do it up.
Yeah, her episode is actually up. We actually managed to get that done.
So check that out.
All right, later on.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Bye now.
Later, peeps.
Bye. Joe, am I calling you or Geeks? So I'm calling the Joe. BFF Joe. Cat, what are you doing?
She's being cute.
Aw. She wants attention.
Why not do?
There needs to be an Arnold one.
Joe wants you to call him. And Tom Z? Or...
It's Joe and Ashley, so I just figured we'll do them. And then... Sure, though. Why not Zoidberg? I'm going for a scuttle.
Waiting on Ashley and Joe.
Waiting on.
Here they are. Hey, buddies.
Hello.
What's up with you guys?
Oh, not much. Just chilling like villains.
Yep.
Any thoughts on any of this news?
I've shared some of mine already in the chat with George A. Romero. It's incredibly sad because he effectively was the inspiration behind one of my favorite role-playing games and fantastic amounts of movies. And Martin Landau's passing was very sad. I will rage against the dying night of all of these animated Disney remakes, live-action garbage, because there's unnecessary, like, fun movies are kind of an unnecessary thing, and then there's what they're doing with these.
Yeah.
But that's me.
I'm with you. Ashley?
Yeah, real sad to hear about George A. Romero. Like, Night of the Living Dead is just like the seminal zombie movie. Like, just the audacity that he had to make like an African American person like the hero in an era where like that wasn't a thing, and then the fact that it wasn't the zombies in the situation that killed him, you know, like it was like the other people like in the group or like, you know, that saw him like just like offhand like, oh, he must be one of them, and just the like you think everything's gonna be okay, like, oh, we're gonna get a happy ending, and then they just like rip the rug right out from under you. I thought that was very powerful.
It's kind of a trademark of his writing and design, though, is the zombies aren't the actual threat. It's how we respond to that kind of terrible situation. It's the terrible situation always puts a lens up to mankind.
He always makes a statement with the movies that he does, for sure, and that one starting off is no exception. He was making huge statements and doing things, breaking ground and moving the genre forward, you know, like making a horror movie that is just more than a horror movie.
Yep.
Well, we watched the first zombie movie together, which coincidentally had Bela Lugosi in it, so there's a connection there. But we watched White Zombie and think of how he reinvented the genre.
Oh, he totally, yeah. Like I said, Romero is the standard for zombie movies. He set the rules, basically, for modern zombie movies. I saw in the chat, I think it was Joe Sanders saying that he actually thought Beauty and the Beast was charming. I missed what else. Oh, he said that Lin-Manuel Miranda should be the genie, not Will Smith.
I would love that.
That would be much better. I loved what he did with the music in Moana, so I have nothing bad to say about that at all. They said Hugh Jackman was going to be Scar, but that's not true. I heard that's a rumor. So, like, why not just get Jeremy Irons? Irons good.
Zazu's the best casting.
Who is that again?
John Oliver.
John Oliver is Zazu. That's pretty good.
That'll be good, but yeah, like, why are we remaking these Disney Renaissance films? Like, if you're gonna remake something, I think the sentiment was said earlier too, but no one wants to know your opinion. She loves remakes. Like, you should remake something that either we have the technology to make it better, like with the original Ben-Hur, which was released in the 1920s. They did not have the technology to do that chariot race. So it made sense for them in the, like, I can't remember the exact release date, but 50s and 60s to remake that. But then they didn't need to remake it again in this era because there's not really a whole lot they could do except for like CGI, and, you know, that was like a train wreck of a movie. Or take something that didn't do as well in the beginning and go, okay, we can now do this better than we could back then. Like, this isn't do too well. It wasn't as popular. Let's see, we can bring it to a new audience. What they're doing now makes no sense, like with Memento and everything else.
And, like, I get that, like, the Beauty and the Beast was a good remake, and I'm sure the rest of these will be good remakes too. But this is time and energy and these actors and writing that we're diverting from wholly original properties as opposed to remaking something that was really good the first time.
Yeah, I agree. Like, me and Morgan have been outspoken about being against the Suspiria remake that's happening. For those of you who aren't familiar with Suspiria, it's a horror movie by Dario Argento. It has to do with like this dancing school and witches and stuff. It's considered like one, if not the most beautiful horror movie ever filmed. And I don't understand why they're remaking it. If your movie is like the most anything ever, don't remake it. It is bad already. You know, like, you're not going to do it better. So I totally feel you there.
Joe says he didn't see Jungle Book because he's too busy watching Moana on repeat.
Yes.
So good.
But see, yeah, and Moana is a good movie for them to make. We don't need I love Jon Favreau, and I love everybody that was in that movie. I felt even the casting was fantastic for Jungle Book, but I don't need it. I don't care.
At least with Jungle Book, like the original movie, if you go back and watch it, it's like okay, but it's not like The Lion King. Like The Lion King is a phenomenal movie, and I was just listening to a story about the making of Pocahontas and Lion King, and how like they put all their eggs into Pocahontas to be like the next Beauty and the Beast, but then there was all the backlash because it wasn't a good movie, and they didn't even consider Lion King to be anything that was going to be great. And then look at how well like that movie was received.
I love Pocahontas.
Yeah, and I mean, Disney didn't have to really try with Lion King if they just stayed true to the themes, because we know it's just Hamlet, and it's also Kimbo the White Lion.
Yeah.
That is like a third remake that just was executed really well by Disney. It had some great to it.
I'm also going to say I'm exceedingly frustrated that they keep calling The Lion King one the live-action remake.
Yeah, there's no people in it. I can buy the princess ones, you know what I mean? Because like those have people in it.
Well, and even Jungle Book had like Mowgli was real.
Yeah.
But the behind the scenes footage for the Jungle Book one is incredibly depressing to watch.
I don't understand why Louis was so big. That was weird.
Because it's got Christopher Walken's personality down to a T.
I think it would have been better if it looked like a regular orangutan.
It would have.
It was just weird. It was like a plot device because something needed to be broken down for him to get somewhere, it seemed like. Okay, so back to the sequel thing real quick. I agree that, like, the same sentiments, but I also think that, oh, hey, Digital and Dice, these guys are great. They're my favorite.
We talk about RPGs and they show up in the chat.
Oh, it's like we summon people. We didn't get dubbed, but maybe maybe he wasn't listening. He might be sleeping. But I feel like we should like maybe explore some things that I feel like would still be, because as much as I love all these superhero movies, it seems like it's the only good thing that's out for kids these days. Like I haven't seen any other really kids properties that because like I'm a kid, you know what I mean? I have toys all over. I watch Teen Titans Go. It's the wackiest, ridiculous nonsense show in the world, but I still like it. I want to see Batteries Not Included. I want to see that brought back to life. I want to see Fly the Navigator. Like these are movies that we can enhance.
Explorers.
But I also at the same time don't want them to be ruined. But maybe we can do like a short circuit with a real Indian guy. That would be cool.
I would want a remake of Reanimator if they put Andrew Scott, who plays Moriarty on Sherlock, as
that would
Herbert
be good.
West, because he would be such a good Herbert West. It's like I would watch that in a heartbeat, but only if it would like under those conditions. He would be so good.
Yeah, I mean, and I think like if somebody like I can get excited if someone was like tackling like. It doesn't work all the time. Tim Burton redoing Willy Wonka didn't get me excited at all. But I feel like if there's a director I'm excited about who I feel would fit that tone, like
I like
how I felt about Edgar Wright doing Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I just feel like Andrew Scott was born to be Herbert West, and he just hasn't got a chance to do it yet. So like that's my biggest thing about that.
You try to tweet him. He doesn't have Twitter.
Yeah.
No, that would be good because, like, except for, like, us right now and maybe some people that are in the chat, like, not a lot of people probably know about Reanimator, so, like, that would make sense as a remake. Like, oh, let's bring this property to a bigger audience versus, like, Willy Wonka, like, that's such a beloved movie, and then see how that worked.
Yeah, but then they're just going to evolve it into some sort of big, like, collected universe of Lovecraftian tropes.
Oh, God.
That's why you just got to get somebody who's good for that. You know what I'm saying?
Del Toro. Romero.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. He's Lovecraftian.
I see Bill saying that you can't top the original performance as Herbert West. I love that performance. He's fantastic as Herbert West. I'm just saying, if anyone else in the world is ever going to be Herbert West, it's Andrew Scott. It's my dude.
It's not something I like the Willy Wonka.
That's it. We're shutting down OSP for
Goodbye,
the night.
guys. Have a good night.
All right. He's coming in next, actually.
You know what? Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes gets a lot of flack.
I kind of like
Didn't hate it. I thought Paul Giamatti was all. See, that's what I wanted from Christopher Walken, was that Paul Giamatti orangutan performance. I mean, Mark Wahlberg by no means is no replacement for the original. Heston, right? Yeah, Helen Bonham. Yeah, she's a hot ape. I think I was gonna say that. But
That was
I
just
don't know.
Tim Burton going like, I would like to dress my wife up in an ape costume.
That's him in every movie.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see my wife. Well, they have a weird relationship now. I don't think they're together anymore. But right, they're not together anymore.
No, they're not.
No, Sonny and Cher aren't together anymore either.
So many people aren't together.
Let's see. Digital and Dice say movies that get remade are ones that become cult classics, and a large amount of people either never saw it and they don't have the budget in the original to make what they really want to do. Exactly. That's all we're asking. Just give us some, not just rehashings, but yeah, guys, you got a lot of stuff going on. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, we are working on our summer backlog of BFF. Currently, we're watching something that's groovy. We'll just say that.
It's on Twitter. We could just say what
I
it
know,
is.
but I'm.
It's
and
also zombie related.
It is, sort of. They're kind of zombies.
Yeah, deadites.
They're like mega zombies. Cats.
Yeah, our cats are running around acting weird.
And then after the episode tonight, we'll be live streaming Life is Strange.
Yes.
We'll be starting a live stream of Life is Strange.
Which people on Twitter voted for among 4 non-Telltale game options.
Yep.
I didn't know what the last one was, but I voted for it because it had the most weird title, and I'm like, this is promising.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a stream of that because when Blade Runner comes out, because they're kind of in the same, they're cyberpunk, so.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was telling Ashley and Joe that I literally voted on that poll, and then when I exited, it gave me my results, and then it was like poll closed and reloaded. Like I got in literally the lowest possible second on that vote.
Nice.
But yeah, the 2064 not only is it like Blade Runner related, but it's kind of a clone of another game called Snatcher, which is from Hideo Kojima, the guy who created Metal Gear. And it's his like Blade Runner homage game, but this is like a clone of that. Less Blade Runner-y, more just cyberpunky.
Nice. Very cool.
Sounds cool. I'm sending you my favorite cyberpunk meme right now.
I'm always tagging Joe on dank memes, dank role-playing memes.
But yeah, whenever this ref will get loaded up on that on our Geek to My Nerd channel, which I've been not tweeting at, but talking at within the little chat. So if people want to go and follow us on YouTube, that would be great because then maybe we could be one day awesome like y'all and have 100 subscribers.
Yep.
And then we could change our channel name.
Nice.
I mean, it feels good. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice. But I definitely recommend their channel. Sometimes we're able to provide some delayed text commentary to the situations. But it's always a fun time to hang out with Joe and Ashley and see what they're up to. So
I don't think Kimber has missed a stream yet.
Yep.
She's you guys for OSP.
It's true.
Yeah.
You got it.
That's dedication, guys. Teamwork. All right. Well, have a great night. We'll see you after this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna stream right after this, so be sure to go and maybe save their channel on a separate tab so you can check that out.
All right,
guys.
we'll see you guys soon.
Have a great night. I just don't want to say goodbye.
Or
The best. Oh man, I can't. I'm glad they're out of here. That Joe guy freaks me out. I should tell you what happened.
no, I was
He's still
actually.
here.
You want to send those invites?
Yeah, we got Tom and Alicia. Nice.
I was actually showing one of my friends, Kayla, who I work with at the tattoo shop, some footage from the Fan Fiction Championship, and Joe was cracking her out. So
You're on fire.
obviously
He
a
does-
man of charisma and charm.
He does well in front of a live audience.
He heard you.
They're the best. I gotta find that meme. Well, I want to say real quick, thank you guys so much for coming out. We have a pretty full room right now. And, oh, Mormo, is he on the list?
Yeah.
Okay, you are on the list, Mormo. We just appreciate you.
Hey.
Hey guys.
I like your shirt.
Thank you, sir. Long time no speak.
Yeah, I know. It's been forever.
Hey guys.
We were but boys then. Thank you, Digital and Dice. How'd you guys feel about the news and pop culture stuff? Is there anything you want to add or comment upon?
Set this up. Oh.
Nice shirt, Delisha.
What happened?
I like your shirt. Red's my favorite color.
Oh.
No one asked me what it is.
Because we actually before, I think, or you said it before, Tom.
We're gonna turn her up.
I'm going to adjust your volume because I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I thought maybe I had it. Is that better?
It's about the same. How about now?
I don't know. Is it better?
A little bit.
Tom, can you hear?
I can hear all right. She's not quite as loud as you guys, but I mean, I can hear fine.
Okay, we'll talk softly. So welcome to our shoot panel.
All right, so I see we're going to take the James Lipton model here and talk very softly and smoothly. Tom, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, but I've been plagued by this question. How did you develop the premise for your podcast? Because we had a lot of fun. Like, we were talking about it for like 3 hours afterwards. We're like, oh man, we could have said this, but I'm glad we have to say this, and blah, blah, blah. The one thing I did forget to tell you was they trashed the Impala in one like behind the scenes. They had to do it for like effect. And Jensen Ackles, the guy who plays Dean, stole the car horn from the Impala, and he's gonna give it to Jared Padalecki when the show breaks. So that's like just a cool memento. If you don't know what we're talking about Supernatural, because we talked about Baby on Tom's show, which I'm sure he will plug when we're done talking.
Yeah, but the question was how I came up with the idea. I think I actually came up with the idea on either your show or Fan Friction, kind of on the fly. Because I mean, I was toying around with YouTube before, whether it was doing movie reviews, and frankly, those are kind of terrible. But then I thought, wait a minute, I'm an engineer. I work on cars every day. I design them. I love them. Why not talk about them with movies? Everybody here seems to love movies, so it would be kind of fun to bring people in who don't exactly know a lot about cars and just talk about what makes them special.
That's awesome. It's always good to start something that you're passionate about, because then it's not like work. Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of work goes into it, but it's not as much work because you're having fun with it, because it's something that you love.
For sure.
Plus, it breaks the mold of all the countless movie reviews. I could review car movies, but I don't think that would be as fun.
Maybe that could be like an episode.
It's definitely unique, and that's why I think we had such a good time. But as far as what's going on in the world of pop culture, what's going on with you? How do you feel? Anything? Are you numb?
Who, me or Tom?
Anybody?
Oh. I don't know. I'm just tired today, so I didn't really care, except for the passing of Romero and sorry. I didn't really know either one of their work, because I don't think I've seen Night of the Living Dead. I don't think so. I have a bad memory when it comes to these things. And definitely, I know I haven't seen Ed Wood for sure, so I wasn't really familiar with these guys' work. But anytime someone passes, whether I know them or not, it's always like a sad affair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you there. I know what Romero brought to the zombie genre, but I mean, small confession, I haven't seen any of his movies, actually. I knew Landau from Ed Wood, and that, of course, was an awesome performance. And I've been meaning to watch some of the old Romero zombie movies, but I just have never gotten around to them. But I just know what an icon he was and what he did for the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say you guys should definitely see Now Living Dead at some point, just for like an independent film like point of view. It was like a homemade movie with a tiny budget. Makes me think of this Phantom Planet video. I don't know if anybody knows that band, but it's really cool. You know, just making movies. I don't know if anyone's ever tried making movies with your friends. I know Billy's told me about experiences of him doing it and stuff like that, but it's a lot of fun. I know you worked on little movie projects too with friends. Car stuff.
Yeah, pretty funny because me and my cousins used to. Did we have this old like karaoke box that you could like record yourself on? So I don't know how we did it, but we were able to hook it up to the VCR. Just tell you how old it was, and record it and like make sure put it on tape. So we would do like sketch stuff that today now would be pretty embarrassing. I don't even know where they are anymore, so I couldn't even show anybody. Thank goodness. So we would just like perform on like little sketch stuff, and that's even doing that was hard because I'm no actor at all and had no interest in it, but it was fun to do at the time. So I mean, just making stuff. I don't know if on the technical side, but just being in front of the camera was hard enough. So I can only imagine what it would have been like now to like try to like edit it and put it out there and things like that. So it's definitely it's something.
Yeah, I agree. When you definitely, and it goes back to what we're talking about with Tom picking what he picked for his podcast. Like, as long as you're passionate and especially if you're knowledgeable about it, you know what I mean? Like, and you want to show off your knowledge. Like, that was my favorite part of the trivia part. Was so much fun. There's just a lot, and we could talk. This isn't a podcast talking about his podcast, but maybe that's a thing we can work on. And you should definitely check out that stuff later. You can actually, the easiest way you can find the episode that I'm on is if you're on this channel already, go to our guest spot playlist. I'll bring you right to his channel. Sorry, I'm stuck in my Discord because I didn't remember my ID number. Janine asked us a fun question. She asked you, not you, us, all of us. What are your thoughts on what you've seen so far of Black Panther?
I'm so ready for the movie. I'm ready for it to be February, like tomorrow, because it looks like so much fun. And I think me and Janine and like Candace were talking about it at one time to like just see a lot of like superheroes that look like us. And to I don't know, like kid me could even fathom saying that we have a Black Panther movie and not be about the Black Panther movement of the civil rights movement. It's so crazy to even think that now we're even a movie like this. I mean, it's a long time coming, but it looks so good. And I love Ryan Coogler. He's a great director. And then I love Michael B. Jordan. I just love everyone who's in the movie, and I was like, they don't really try to pick like bad projects. So it's exciting to know that probably be like a really good superhero movie after Blade.
I mean, I could tell you're excited. I think my favorite part of it is that you can. It's almost like it's a alien world, even though I know it's on Earth. It's like this cool like culture, like that's like locked away from everything. And I love that they have like the high tech kind of vibe. Which, if you know Wakanda, you know exactly that's what they're known for. They're like. I always equated them to Atlantis, but they're more equating it to what was it? The El Dorado. Yeah, in the movie. So, I mean, both could apply. Atlantis was more Namor. And I don't think he's ever coming into the MCU.
Never know.
I just can't get down with those wing ankles.
Those what?
What did you just say?
The wing angles, I can't get down with it. I don't understand. Like, I feel like it would look so weird.
Like their angle of approach, I'm unclear here.
Oh, Namor is a character who is like Aquaman, but he has, you know, like Mercury has like those wing sandals.
Oh,
yeah.
He just has wings jutting out of his feet for no reason. So that's fun.
That's a part for the designers to come up with.
All right, guys. Well, if there's not anything else you want to talk about as far as the news and other?
I do have some other entertainment related news that I just read earlier tonight.
Breaking news.
Where's your sound effects?
Chris Hemsworth, our very own Thor, this weekend took part in a little kind of celebrity Formula E car show, and he spun an electric race car. So that's a little bit embarrassing for a guy who played a Formula One driver.
Spun it in circles.
Yeah, came out of a turn, hit the throttle too hard, and spun it.
Yeah, but
That's
I mean
funny.
that was a Ron Howard movie. It wasn't realistic.
To be fair, those car scenes were actually shot with real F1 cars.
Okay, but
and real drivers for that matter.
But was that real
he was
driver?
not driving.
Yeah, so I don't expect him to actually be good. That's like saying like Robert Downey Jr. pulling that thing after Iron Man 2 and seeing him driving the Formula race. I don't think he would be that great.
You never know. Maybe he is.
Maybe I wouldn't put it past him. RDJ is great.
Yeah. Did you guys I didn't see it, but I saw like people reacting to it. The Leatherface trailer.
The what?
Leatherface? No.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, apparently it dropped. I don't know if it was either today or somewhere last night. I just saw like a lot of people like reacting to it.
There's a Jigsaw one coming out. I don't know. I'm getting tired.
That looks stupid.
I'm excited about the new Chucky movie. Momo was talking about that the other day.
The new Chucky?
Speaking of Momo.
All
right, guys.
I'll say that movie is the reason why I don't like horror films.
Oh, jeez. We're going to have to talk about that later. So, hey, Jack, how's it going?
Why? Just tweet at me and I'll tell you the whole story.
There you go. So why don't you go around and plug your current projects that you got going on, and we'll say goodbye.
I don't know. I guess I'll go. I'm still looking for a name for this segment for the OSP article of taking popular movies that people have seen that I have not, because I don't know why. I still need a name for it. I'm going to attempt to watch Batman 89, which won the poll by, it was like 67% of the votes. I think, yeah, Batman.
Trust.
And I'm gonna watch that either over the weekend or at least by next Tuesday, and hopefully have a write up for it by next Friday. But I need a name. If anyone wants to help me out, let me know. And you can also find me on Aftermath recapping with Cal and Eric the WWE pay-per-views. We just did one for Great Balls of Fire last week. Believe next week we'll be doing Battleground, which is the SmackDown pay-per-view. So you guys can check us out on that. And then you can just follow me on Twitter at Delisha_Renee.
All right. Tom?
Okay, I have a fairly long list today, actually. So we'll start out with Tom already mentioned his episode. Him and Kimber came on my podcast yesterday to talk about Supernatural. So again, my list is growing, but if anyone has any more suggestions, please go ahead and shoot me a tweet at RoadRaider3. This week coming up, I won't be able to do a show the week after, so I'm going to push it up to this week. Let me pronounce his name right. Joe Chincherik is coming on, and we're going to talk Dumb and Dumber this weekend. So that's Sunday at 3 o'clock. Let's see what else. And and if you haven't already watched it, I threw it out there earlier, but I did a movie fights episode last week. But the fight afterwards, or the fight previously, with Tony Revolori of Spider-Man. So that was really fun. So if anyone hasn't seen that episode, go ahead and go back and watch it. It was a really good one, and I was on the couch for it.
Nice. All right. I like when our people try to slowly take over their stuff. We see Janine's artwork plastered all over like Banksy. All right. Well, definitely check out all their stuff, guys. And I'm going to move it along. I think we got TJ and Mormo. If you guys are calling in, let me know. I know Mormo's up. And we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.
See you guys in the chat. Have a good night.
Have a great night. I never get to eject you. All right. So I know Mormo's calling in. Okay, not seeing a response from TJ. So, Janine or Joe, are you planning on calling in tonight? Why don't we get a list in the chat of who wants to call in still, so I can just get a better handle on all this. Sharpie of fate. Mormo's here. Great.
Hello? Are you there, Tom? Can you hear me? Hello? Are you there, Tom? Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, hey, so here I am. First, I want to talk about George Romero. I want to say it was very sad, and he was a big influence on me growing up, and I watched Joe Sanders Says I Want to Be Big Mormo, the cool. And so, like, I watched Dawn of the Dead with my dad, and it was like really, it was really meaningful to me, and like the metaphors of George Romero's movies, like the fireworks and the in Land of the Dead were like symbolized like patriotism in post 9/11 America and stuff. And then I saw the Leatherface trailer. I saw part of it. It wasn't really loading on my phone, but I heard it's really gory, and I'm really excited about that. Always happy to see a new Leatherface movie. And then Troma Now had a really big month. They showed Spiderlings, Memento Mortis, and Penny Pinchers. And Spiderlings is kind of like a punk rock cult musical. It's like an instant cult classic in my mind. It's like a queer musical with like counterculture and everything, man. And Memento Mortis is a necrophiliac like sex comedy, and I found it to be really erotic, and I thought it was hotter than 50 Shades of Grey, in my opinion. And then Penny Pinchers was a documentary about no budget filmmakers, and that was a really good movie. There's a movie called Wish Upon in theaters right now, and I'm really excited about that. I want to go see that. It looks like it's about some kind of like haunted game. And yeah, Geek to My Nerd says Mormo is like that guy who stole the feed dressed up as Max Headroom. For sure. I don't know how it happened. It could have been some kind of goof up or something, but I'm not exactly sure what happened. But and then Wish Upon, it's like about some haunted game or something. Another kids movie. Every horror movie Hollywood has to make has to be about like a little kid in some horror situation. I don't know why they always do that. And then last is the last bit of news I'm really excited about is a movie called The Little Hours. Is out in theaters right now. It's playing at the